It's another lovely day, and I want you to chin up, sit with your shoulders high, because I know you are the best thing that happened to the world. Yes, that's the way we should relate. That's what we should believe. Beyonce once said that the most alluring thing a woman can ever have is confidence, and I want to have that in full time. I also believe that you who is watching me as that now, if you have a little challenge, by the time we are done today, you're going to brace up and grow back your self-esteem. That's our topic for today. And when I say, I have the usual squad. The men are actually on a matter. They want to be with us. But hey, it is self-esteem in women, not in men. But maybe during the course of the discussion, the Vox Pop perhaps will have more men speak on it. But let's start with the usual method, usual procedure of introduction. Hello.
Hi, my name is Devan Hamati, your mom, and it's good to be here this morning.
Okay.
My name is Maimuna Omi Abdullah, aka Coach Didi, and it's always a pleasure being here.
My name is Joe Panachi. It's good to be here, and I'm chinned up this morning.
Beautiful. Yes, I'm sitting with my shoulders high, ready to discuss self-esteem. My name is Elizabeth Abai, and you can see I'm grinning from chin to chin because I have my confidence right here with me. But then, have you ever had any moment, in your life when somebody tried to put you down? A lot of us have had that. How were we able to manage it? My winning team went out to the streets and tried to talk to some people, mostly men. Let's see. When we come back, we'll look at it from the angle of the women. Are you ready? Let's see this.
When the colleague says he's going to sack me, that he was going to ensure that I'm sacked. I've had that experiences, you understand. And then I really felt bad because, thank God, he was unable to do that. But he made a move.
I remember back when I was in secondary school, there was this particular senior who always picked on me and made me feel small. And I just didn't like moving around her. Like, if I see her coming, I would rather go the other way. Like, I just felt really bad and made me feel small. So because of that, I didn't really like socializing like that. I lost my self-esteem here. But I gradually learned how to like cope with it. Let me put it like that. Yeah, I didn't allow what people said get to me that much anymore. So if you say something bad to me, I won't keep it in mind. I'll just let it go. After
training a girl in the school, the girl decided to dump me. That experience weakened my body, makes my moral to fall. I now decided to hate any woman that comes around me.
So there was a time, at a young age where you and your friends do a lot of things that you can't even explain. And then I think growing up and getting to a position whereby you are at a reputable stage where people respect you, and then that friends just come and wants to blackmail you is a bad thing. I saw that, and then I felt bad at some point. He weighed me down. I couldn't even relate with people, always in my room, sleeping and all that. And then, but at some point I felt like, no, whatever the person wants to do, the person should go ahead to do it. I don't care.
The lady who happened to come from the same town with me, the same village, we were befriending each other. Then she said he wanted to go to school. No help, nobody. So I assisted her. She got admission to the University of Ibadan. On getting to 300 level, she said no. I said, what do you mean? Are you joking? So to come the long story short, that was how the relationship ended.
I shorty him. He's a childhood friend, and I shorty him for a loan that he's supposed to pay within a month. For over 5 months now, I've not seen him, and they came and arrested me. So I really, really felt bad, and it affected my person.
My teacher, that year we used to be very bad in maths. Like me precisely, I didn't know maths at all. So he gave us this assignment and he came to class. He said those that fail should stand up, and then there was this particular guy that passed. So we stood up. He now used me as an example. Is it that you were not paying attention when I was teaching? See how you failed. I don't think you can ever pass this subject. So that thing kept ringing in my head. Anytime I had maths class, I'll be feeling weird. I couldn't concentrate. Even if it's something I know when he's talking about it, when he asks a question, I know this answer. But because of what he said to me, I started feeling uncomfortable. I couldn't confidently raise my hand and answer any question. So that made me feel very small. It affected my self-esteem. I just learned to tell myself I could do better. I should not allow what this man has said to me put me down. So I gradually started answering questions. When he came, I would make sure I read. I made sure I practiced. So there was nothing he asked me that I wasn't getting. So small, I started passing. And that's how I just overcame it.
I had an accident with my car. No money on me, nothing. But she had money in her account. So I pleaded for her to borrow me money. She refused. All I did was to steal her ATM card. On getting alert, she started fighting me. And I was like, we've been together for over 16, 15 years. Why be say you can't fight me because of small money or I just come up for your account? And he was like, you must give me my ATM card this night. That was last night. You must give me my ATM card this night. In fact, I did sleep. I know they sleep because I did the reason waiting play out. Say, how could it be my wife that is doing this to me?
I don't get it. You know,
refused to give it to him in the first place.
Blew my mind. The last guy blew my mind. I mean, he stole the wife's money.
To him, he didn't steal it. You know when
he said he stole it.
When people that's what
he even said he stole it.
I stole it.
He stole it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. He's been with her for 15 years. 16 years. I'm not agreeing or accepting what he did is right, but you see, most of the time when people get married, they say, "Your money is my money. Till death do us part, in good times, in bad times." So if you didn't have money
at that point in church, I didn't say that in church.
Of course, it's been said.
Of course, your money is my money. I didn't say that.
No, your money is my money.
Why are you emphatic about that one?
Not that part, but you know, everything that they tell you is that you are one now. So your money is my money, your goods are my goods, your family is my family. There are no in-laws anymore. So I think it was the way he did it that I think it was very, very wrong, and she had every right, you know, to run him down.
Yes, and the truth is that, like you said, if somebody is your partner, your husband, you should be able to share whatever you have with him. But going back to the package, it was quite interesting. I noticed 2 men were dumped, by women, and that actually brought down their esteem, self-esteem.
Yeah.
But I also noticed that they had particular job description.
Accountants.
So, yeah. The 2 men.
Accountants don't spend money.
Yes, that's why I'm puzzled. Yeah. Like, everybody knows how I'm sorry, how stingy accountants are.
That's we are overgeneralizing here. Not every accountant is stingy.
The majority are.
How many have you?
The general perception is that accountants are naturally inclined to be stingy. And these are the 2 people who happen to be talking about how they were so generous to a woman and then at the end of the day she dumped them. Is it possible that because of that mindset they have of not wanting to... there's a way somebody is generous to you and then they belittle you.
That's it.
That's
it.
I've done this for you, I've done that.
Agreed.
I've bought our father a car, I built the parents' house, I brought 3 elephants for the grandmother and all of these things. And in the middle of all this, because you are bringing money and all this, you begin to maltreat the person.
True.
You talk down to them,
True.
you humiliate them, you treat them badly. Then when the person is like, wait though, should I sentence myself to a lifetime of this kind of treatment because of money? Or should I just cut my losses and be called a bad person? You understand?
I agree with
I
you.
I don't believe that, yes, there are people who are just bad and will just use you for their own ends. Then don't say a woof. You are willing to pay my school fees. Fine. I'll take advantage of this opportunity, and when I'm done, I'll dump you and move on. But it's also very common to see that many people who are very generous with their money expect something back. And it depends to the level of what they are expecting. Some expect that you should never have an opinion again.
Yeah.
You should never have a personality again. Agreed. They have bought you, despite the fact that you haven't done my marriage rights. Maybe you don't even know my family. You know, you are forcing me to do things I don't like. But because you are paying my school fees, I grit my teeth and do these things. And then one day I'm like, wait though, this guy, we never even marry, and this man is doing this kind of thing. If I go ahead and marry him, what will it be like? So I feel as if, you know, there's always two sides to a story. It happens to women too.
Yes, it does.
And I would say that even to the women it happens.
Yes.
Did you start belittling the man because you were giving him money? Is it possible? Did you think you now own him because you helped him once or twice with that odd 50,000, that odd 100,000?
When you give, for me, if you're giving me something, you know, I appreciate the fact that you're going out of your way or within your way, whatever it is, to give me a certain thing, a gift, or maybe even if it's obligation. But if I see you giving me something with attitude, even if my life depends on it, I will not take it.
True.
No, but let me tell you something. Certain things happen.
Parents do that even to their children.
Yes. You know, like, you see.
How do I give something to my child with attitude? I don't understand.
No, they do.
No,
they
do. That's why I said explain. It's something I don't do. So I'll explain it. Let me understand.
Listen, some parents will give you, they give you food, they pay your fees. Yes. Every small mistake you make, they'll mention it.
Yeah,
you're eating here, you're a freeloader. Why won't you wash plates? You're a freeloader. Why won't you get?
It's pretty common.
Fees and you're giving me this kind of results. Blah blah. Don't make me understand. I was in heaven minding my business. So why did you have to
if I'm paying this arm robber school fees of 2.5 million or something somewhere, and my child is consistently coming home with bad grades, you're telling me I don't have a right to be upset?
No, that's different. You have a right to be
upset. The way you say it.
No, that's different.
The way you say it.
And when you're angry, no, listen.
If you do that once in a while, Devon, it's a different matter. But if every day, if I make a mistake, you remind me how much you spend on me.
You're talking about the consistency of berating somebody.
Because
what I'm hearing is you don't have a right to get upset.
No, you have a right to get upset.
People that let's look at self-esteem from the home.
Yes.
I say, when I see children outside and I see the way they behave, the first question I ask is either, who are the parents?
True.
I always do that. And it's in the sense that, like I always used to say, I say it in this program, that the best thing that was done for me from my parents was they took me to a school that was with boys and girls, because I noticed that there are some people that I know when they're in the midst of men, I don't get it.
They're totally different.
They can't talk. They feel small and all that. And I used to say, but why? But when they're in the midst of, you know, like women, they're all over the place. And that's why I said parents should notice and teach their children. Like I always tell people that don't let the teachers do parenting. Let the parents do parenting. You have to teach. You have to teach your children, especially the female kids, how to have self-esteem. Because I was growing up when I was dark, I had a problem. Because if I go to a party, I realized nobody used to talk to me. And it was something, it took a while.
Because you were dark
Because I was dark skinned.
That's what you believed.
No, that's not what I believed.
Everybody doesn't talk to her because she's dark skinned?
No, not everybody. She means toasters.
No, what I meant was that I go to a party. And I noticed, growing up, it was something I noticed. Because I was dark skinned. Yeah. I noticed they were going after the light-skinned people.
Exactly.
Really? That was just life.
It is very, very true.
It's common, yeah.
And guess what? My self-esteem just died. But you know, the thing here is that talk with your kids. So you know how you go for holiday and okay, what happened in school? And you're gisting. And I always used to bring up the topic. my siblings too were dark skinned. They had the same problem. So my mom now says,
I was light skinned and I had the same problem.
Oh no, because I think it's a mindset, honestly. Because I'm dark skinned as well, and I got toasted.
Growing up, a lot of people walk into the
house.
The problem is that you're not getting. Say, we're talking about self-esteem.
Yeah.
I'm giving you real life experience. You might have gone through that. Why do you notice now that 50% of the women are bleached skin?
Yeah, true.
No, but apart from that, to hop onto what you said, there was a time, I just had this. I was appearing on TV very frequently at the time, and it's the portrait shot thing,
okay.
And I really felt I used to use a lot of foundation and it to cover because I was the pimple picker. Okay, so I used to have black spots. So I'd use makeup to cover it. And I was like, why don't I just treat my skin and get rid of these black spots instead of, trying to
mask it?
Cut a long story short, I got this very, very good product, but I didn't read the instructions.
Oops.
Yes, I didn't read the instructions. I misused it, and I ended up with Fanta face.
Oh, wow.
I'm not kidding.
Leg.
Yes.
Fanta
From
face.
here down, I was my normal complexion, but my face was just now small. It won't reach where Liz there.
Wow.
Men who had always known me started toasting me. They were not worried that I was a different color from here down.
See what I mean?
Wow.
I'm not kidding. Men that used to be, how are you doing, Didi? And walk into the sunset. Well, how are you doing?
Honestly, I think it also has to do with belief, Devon.
No, it's not a belief.
No. I'm not arguing.
I've known me for years and
this happens. I'm not arguing that it happens.
And the minute my face healed and my complexion came back.
You know the thing, what we're talking today
the minute my complexion came back.
No, there's no doubt that the yellow faces has always been preferred. There's no doubt about it. But you see, what's self-esteem? It's a feeling of self-worth.
But it didn't tamper with my self-esteem.
No,
I'm just saying that this yellow skin something is true. For me, it didn't do anything to me.
Let me say something. Because you were saying that the reason why men didn't walk up to you was because you're dark. And that's generalization. Because
I think you're not getting where she's coming from.
I'm talking about myself. I went to school for the 5 years I was in school. I go to parties and I realized it. And I was wondering why.
My question is, how did you realize it? Did you actually sample men and ask them, are you not talking to me because I'm dark?
I cannot sample a man.
That's why it's an assumption.
I will not sample a man.
So is mine an assumption?
Yeah, to an extent it is too.
Well,
you know why?
Okay.
You see,
let me hear.
Let's come from point of psychology.
Okay.
You were in a party. People didn't walk up to you.
Yeah.
You now believe that it's because you're dark. Yeah. I could have believed it's because my nose is long. I could have believed it's because my eyes are too big or because of my white scalp. It's still a belief. Mm-hmm. Because as long as you did not ask them, please, why are you not coming to me? And they didn't say it's because you're dark. Because see, it's a possibility. Yes,
why
I'm not doubting.
You
don't understand. I'm just coming from this angle.
She's just talking hypothetically.
Because if you did not ask them and they did not say it's because you are dark, then how do you know?
No, but I gave you my own instance.
Devon, it's also an example, right?
Yeah.
How many men have you met in your life? You know why I'm saying this? I work with, 1 minute, 1 minute, Joy.
All right.
Low self-esteem is not a mental health illness, but it's linked closely to women's mental health. Because most women who are having low self-esteem end up having mental health issues like anxiety, depression, eating and sleeping disorders, suicidal ideation, and even substance abuse. So it's closely linked. Now, when a woman tells me, this is what's happening to me, and it is because of this, now I ask her, wait, how do you know? I'm not saying you may be right. Some people may not have asked you because you're dark, but it is not everyone.
No, you said something that, did I go to them? Very good. Here I am 20 years after.
Yeah.
A man walks up to me and says, oh my God, have you looked at yourself if you're light-skinned?
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to
you don't
tell
get it, Joy. I'm not arguing about that.
No,
but the world is made of 8 billion people.
Fantastic. That is
one person said so.
But let me tell you, do you know what that would have done to me if I didn't have self-esteem?
Yeah, I understand.
And guess what my reply was to the man? If you like light-skinned, then you go fetch yourself a light-skinned woman. Because by the time I'm toned up and you dump me, The next guy now tells me, oh my God,
I like
can
dark
you
skin
imagine
women.
I love dark-skinned women.
So you keep
How do I
changing your
come
skin.
back, changing my skin to fit somebody's ego?
Okay, so let me share my experience with you. Growing up, I was really very fair. My father is very fair. My mother is extremely dark. Two extreme people. So I had siblings who were very dark, and I also had a sister who was very fair like me.
Okay.
Now, because perhaps there was this preference for light skin, you know, people will come in, try to talk to my sisters. So I had things like, I'm black and proud, you know, my African queen, my black beauty, you know, being said to my dark sisters. And the only thing I got, you know, was Oyibo, Abino. Afi. You know those kind of, if it's in Igbo, some will call you Tocha Kom. You know those kind of a thing. So it made me hate my complexion.
See, different strokes.
So I tried to do everything to darken myself. I tried to rub palm kernel oil. I tried to, you know, I do everything that could make me dark. I heard about sun tanning as a kid. I'll go and stay in the sun and get skin burn, and nothing happened. You know, I grew up and found out that the way God has made me, that's the way I'm going to be. But at that time, did it affect me? Yes. Because I felt people liked my sisters because they were dark, and I was always, you know, put down because I was light skin.
Yeah.
So it's actually I tend to support you because a lot of times, but again, like you said, it's not everyone.
Yeah.
You know, and the way you handle it is important. I had parents who would always, especially my mom, she would see that I'm getting sensitive with those accolades for other people. And I was actually the notice me or die person. So when I come to throw you, when I come to do those notice me, they give me those names to calm me down. You know, I will shrink a little bit. My mother will have a way of, you know, talking me out of it.
Because she noticed.
You know, it's important because
But I agree with you, Elizabeth, because it's, like you said, but you can see the exact story for different people. So that is why your mind has a lot to do with it as well.
Exactly.
Because look, why I'm saying this, I do this work with people, and I see how women are struggling. One person tells you there's something wrong with you, and then you believe that one person.
True.
And that, see, there's something called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. In order to reframe the story you're telling yourself, I need you to challenge your thoughts. And that's why I will ask you, what's the proof? You are sitting here, something didn't happen, and you assume it's because of da-da-da-da. And that assumption comes from your mindset, which is basically your upbringing, your environment, and significant emotional events that could have happened to you. Just like when you feel miserable, nobody trusted you. And that will make you feel each time you are sitting and nobody's saying anything, is it because of my dark skin? Is it because of my eyes? Is it because of my hair? These are stories we tell ourselves. So
what can we do about it? Not talk to you in a crowd. For another reason. Because they actually think you're, not because you're dark, you're fair, you're anything. They think you're, they're all approachable. You know, or you're too big for them, something like that.
That's the story I'm trying to do.
Yes, it may not be because of your skin. They could like look at Devin,
but
she's too classy.
That was too small.
Yeah, that's the perception.
Please, I still want you guys to explain to me why my toaster base went up when my face became fair.
See, my dear,
in fact,
it has to do with the men around you. It has to do with the men around you. Maybe they were fair women.
Environment.
Yes, but that's the point. How many are they? Maybe those men in your life at that particular time do have a thing for fair women, and that's it. But it has not. Look, let me tell you something.
And guess what? The bleaching industries.
Yeah, it's making a lot of money.
True.
It
wasn't working. And if women are doing it, there's a reason. It's not because they want to sit around and admire themselves in the mirror.
Let's go away from the bleaching. Have you realized? I saw something 2 weeks ago about a 20-year-old girl.
I
you know,
it.
The story, surgery. The story now is you go to places and the opposite sex tells you, is this follicum? I didn't know what follicum was.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know what follicum was. So all these things in your body, when you
follicum?
Not natural.
No, is it natural?
Oh, yeah.
Because
no, all these things. You mean the backside,
the backside,
everything,
front side, you know, and all that.
Okay.
And I'm wondering how we got to this place that a man sees you. He doesn't just like you because of what's up there. It's your body parts that he's looking at. And the next thing that comes out of this man's mouth is this follicum. you know, it's now you can see why is he asking these questions, because they have women they have met, and the women they have met, apparently when everything is all off, you find out that all those things are popped up things, and guess what, other ones are surgery. Why are the women doing? How many men have done surgery?
That's what I was going to ask.
It comes back
How
to
many men? I was going to
self-esteem.
ask that. Why would I want to dress up for a man?
But it comes back to the same thing with self-esteem.
For a man.
Let me give an example, Joy.
Okay.
I'm 46 years old.
Yeah.
I've been married 20 years. I have 4 children. My body can never be the same as it was when I was 16, and I'm okay with that.
No, but the difference with you, my darling.
Yes.
You told me you have 4 kids.
Yes.
And your body, I will not lie with. I will not see. Let me tell you, it's because you're telling me I'm believing it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I don't have kids, never been married. I'm heavy.
And that's beautiful.
Guess what?
Yeah.
It was when I started growing up, my self-esteem grew. My dear, so many women. Let me tell you, after the show on Wednesday, there's this girl I do business with. She does boxes, you know, and she sent me a message. I've never seen her. Thank you. Anytime I see you, you're happy, and you're happy with your size. The thing is that you wear things that suit your size.
Yes.
Now that's what I'm going to do, because people bring me down with my size. So I was excited, and I told her one of these days we just hang out, because so many people, we have friends who run us down for our sizes and all that.
For everything, for anything.
So if you have friends who are with you and they're supposed to be your buddies and they body shame you, excuse me, what's all that?
That's not okay.
So it's not okay. And guess what? That's what so many women who have been married, so many women who have kids now everything is not in the right places, and their husbands keep running them down.
Yes, it happens.
So something has to be done.
What I tell men is there's no point running your woman down. If you think my body it's no longer okay, I don't have issue, but let's put the children back and then let's see who loses.
But that can be done.
It's true. Because at the end of the day, if we women and men begin to tear off our clothes, the men still look uglier than us, and we haven't bothered. Do you understand? Yeah. We still accept you. You're getting older. Your pot belly is protruding, and we are not concerned. And you're busy running me down. But that's not an excuse for a woman to be careless, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Well, like you mentioned that you're born big, you're on a big size, and at the end of the day, you wear what suits you, and everybody appreciates you for it. Women should not get lazy. I think that self-esteem is when you have done the best you can do, and somehow you're not satisfied with it, that's when you begin to lose your self-esteem. Yes. But beyond the physical appearance, there are other things that run women's self-esteem down. I know one of them is relationship. The men actually mention their own side of it. What are the sides for the women?
Well, relationships. What kinds of relationships? There are all kinds of relationships.
Mostly marriage. All the suicide women.
Romantic.
It's from romantic relationships.
Romantic relationships, family relationships, your relationships with your lady friends, you know, things.
Your colleagues.
I think I want to agree with Okpanachi when she said, if parents are able to take their time and do the work at home from childhood, once the foundation is set, there's very little that can shake you going forward. And you should start from home, although you keep talking about the fact that you went to a co-educational institution. But if you have parents that speak life, and that is where I really agree with the Pentecostals. I'm Catholic. We usually don't see eye to eye. But I really agree with the Pentecostals where they lay so much emphasis on the words that come out of your mouth, the words that you speak.
To yourself.
It's a Christian principle generally, but the Pentecostals emphasize it more. About yourself, about others, your loved ones around you. Yeah. For instance, I'll give an instance with myself that I once said that there was somebody that had access to me as a young child. I will not say if that person was a teacher or a relative. This person had access to me for years. And this was at a time when I was very frail and I was always the smallest person in the class, very sickly and things like this. And this lady would tell me almost without fail every single day, in all the small mistakes children make, you are useless. Yes. You will never amount to anything in life. And I would hear this almost every day, and this went on for years.
That's sad.
And it was books like Oliver Twist's, you know, because I was a voracious reader. Okay. You know, that was where I was pulling myself as I didn't know at the time, but now I know that I was using those things to counter what this person was saying. And sometimes when she was saying things like that, I would say, no, I'm not useless. I will be something in life. I don't know what I'll be, but I know I'll be. You know, now if I had been the kind of person who had, I didn't go completely unscathed. It bothered me. But it did not bother me to the point where I lost myself completely to, you know, there are some people that cannot take one step without clarifying from other people. Oh, yes. Do you think I should do like this? Yes. I did like this, so what do you think? Is it okay? But the truth is, nobody has two heads. Yeah. And except this person is much older than you and has so much more life experience. You're asking somebody that is 1 year older than you, 2 years older than, what do you think I should do? Yeah. Sometimes even younger than you. You know, get yourself. You know, you are not sure of yourself. And sometimes it comes from home. Sometimes it comes from school. Yeah. 1 or 2 people that are supposed to be critical in your life have killed or are trying to kill the small spirit in you without even knowing it. Yeah. Something they are trying to correct you. Something they are disciplining you.
The worst thing that parents do is comparing their children. You know, I have 3 of them, and I have different, you know, ID for the 3 of them. The first one is a mother, the second one is a sissy, the last one is a tomboy. But that's not to say they don't do their jobs, don't move into each other. But I know that the one that is motherly, you know, likes to care, all those stuff, I cannot expect her to come in and do like the other person. So I don't compare children at all. You work with them according to their strength. You know where this person is stronger, you use that person more around that area. But all the same, try to prop her where she's weak. You know, parents expect that all their 3 kids will come in with first class. It doesn't work like that. You know, this person failed exam today, you're hitting the person. Can't you see your sister knows how to sweep? You don't know how to sweep? No. You know, speak positively, you know, and positivity into your children. The one that the person has strength for. If it's house chores, if it's cleaning, encourage her to do it well. Yeah. People are earning money as janitors. Yes. You know, they own companies. We call them janitors, Abi. Yes. They're actually cleaners. Yeah. Cleaners. There are companies that are doing delivery. They're making a lot of money. There are people who are doing their delivery jobs. Yes. You know, that's errand, running errand and chores in the house. The people are earning money with it. They've even opened company and employ other people to do it. People are earning money as dry cleaners. Yeah. That's washing clothes. Yeah. So whatever your child is good at, encourage it. Don't speak down on her because you want her to be a doctor. If you look around very well, there are a lot of hungry doctors, there are a lot of hungry lawyers. Meanwhile, there are a lot of very wealthy janitors, you know, and delivery people around. So don't compare your children. You kill them, you know, from inside while they are still in your homes. Try to find out what's good about them. And then for us women too, I sincerely believe that a lot of times our moral is, you know, goes down because we're looking at, see Dangote's wife. She's flying on jets.
Competition.
Yeah. Unnecessary competition. It's not necessary. If I have my okrika cloth, I wear it with pride.
But
I'll tell you something.
It's you.
I used to like high heels. You know, if it's not 6 inches, I'll know well. If you watch my pictures when I was very small, like secondary, primary, it has to be like this. Then, incidentally, I had an accident and he started playing games on me. But I tell myself, whatever life gives me,
you just take it.
I'll just take it. Yeah. Make the lemon lemonade. Yes. So I started having pains on the leg. What did I do? I moved from high heel shoes to sneakers, to Crocs. So I wear my Crocs and I match it up with my clothes.
You still have legs.
And you know what happened? A lot of people are asking me to sell Crocs to them, and I had to go and open up a line. I started selling Crocs Gibbets.
Okay, it's not, you have them?
Yes. I sell them.
Please, I want some.
No, you see, after the show, yeah.
But can I add something? Can I add something about
selling canvas, I started selling the gibbets, the fancy ones on top of it.
You went with your strong point.
Yes.
And
So I told myself, I'm not going to start, envying Devon for her high heels. I'll wear my Crocs and I'll make people envy it. So whatever God has given to you, whatever nature has given to you, don't feel that the other person is better than you. Make shakara with it, if you understand my language.
Meanwhile, Devon is wearing high heels from a place of stubbornness.
I do self-esteem classes for schools. And I share this story. I'm going to make it short. When I was about 12, 13, I had started growing. This one, you started seeking attention. And I remember my mother sent me to go and grind something. And one boy in my area just stopped me. And he looked at me and said, "Oh, Mikina, de kya wallahi." In English, it means,
so pretty.
Umi, you're so pretty. I was startled.
Yes.
I looked at him and I just walked past. But I started floating.
Yes.
I was holding the bucket and I was floating in the air. When I got back home, my mother said, what's wrong with you? Because I kept on smiling.
Yes.
I went into my room and I looked into the mirror and I was like, am I really that pretty? And that night I slept so well.
They tell you.
See, that boy, I can't even remember his name now, but that day changed something in me.
That's it.
Now, when I started having children, because of what happened to me as a child, I made it a point. I look at my kids and I compliment them daily. You are beautiful. You are amazing. The world is a better place because you are in it. Because one Yaya boy will tell her, and she's going to, and then because I know how I felt.
Yes.
And that's why it's important. You see, self-esteem is basically self-worth.
Yes.
How you feel about yourself. The question is, how do you feel about yourself? Do you like yourself?
That question, I'm still going to ask it to the members of the public who are watching. So let's know how you feel about yourself. Our lines are open and we'll share your feeling about yourself. And if anybody has ever made you feel small, please let us know. But very importantly, let's also know what you've done to mitigate it. I mean, how did you handle it? Because it's very important, really. Parents should speak positivity into their children. Husbands or boyfriends, please speak positivity.
No, okay, let me take an example of me, the single woman. The way the society in Nigeria makes you feel so many women have gone into marriages, bad marriages, because of what society says about them. And one of the biggest problems women have in Nigeria right now about self-esteem and about their self-worth is, why are you single? So now, we went for a bridal shower, and you know how you give advices, and they say, okay, you say what you... And I remembered years ago, and I stood up, I was trying to talk, and the person said, experience is the best teacher, I beg, sit down.
It's a lie.
Huh? Things are happening. People don't know how to talk, and she just ran me down. But because of the self-esteem and the self-worth I had, I said, if you call your own marriage, I'd rather stay single.
I was about to say that.
You see, so this is, it's not everybody, because how do you break somebody down that way? And you say, everybody says, you two they choose. You two like money. You want a rich man. You see, they always give you advice. But I always tell you, have the spirit of discernment and, talk to yourself. Yeah. If you don't talk to yourself, you'll make people's opinion. And there's something I noticed with Nigerians. What people feel about them, that's what makes them leave. Yeah. And if you go that route, you're finished.
Yes.
Anyway, it's important, like I mentioned before you started talking, that people around us should learn to appreciate us. When I say positivity, even if you're a boss, if your staff does well, it's good for you to say, oh, this is nice, but tomorrow you could actually, I had lots of, I have always known you can make it. Okay, so do it like this some other time so that we can get to the next step. As a staff, you make your people feel good. A husband, there are people who they don't just know when their wives have done new hair. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. But if I'm sitting down with you and I take my time and decorate myself, so to speak, and all you need to do is say, let's be going. It's not good.
Let's be going.
Let's be going. You haven't even noticed I have a new hairdo, or maybe I'm wearing a different kind of makeup, or maybe the dress is a new one and it's beautiful. Make it a habit. And then tell your wife before she leaves the house. The same thing too. Wives should tell their husbands. It's not just one-sided.
Yeah.
Honey, you look so good. Are you sure it's only work you're going? I mean, they go find babes, you know. Men will they'll feel good. And when they're at work, they're going to perform even better. Tomorrow, you encourage him to do better. The same thing goes with the woman. Let's learn to speak positivity into ourselves. And people are writing in, let me see. What? I feel I'm special. I like myself. Okay, you didn't tell us your name or where you're writing from, but it's good to know that you feel special. And somebody say here, I don't have self-esteem. Oh, no. That's not good. You have to build it. And another person is asking, are we calling or texting? No, please, don't call. Just text, because I won't have time to take that. This one says, I'm Daniel. I always speak positivity to my wife and children. Daniel, thank you so much. You're a good husband. And I tell you what, you're going to enjoy it, because no matter what the woman goes through in the course of the day, she will always remember, oh, my husband said I'm the best thing that happened to him, even though you could be lying.
But at least he said it.
Yes. And it will make her, she's coming back, she must stop by one Abuki to buy one thing or the other and cook you something special. When women are happy.
Many men bring women down.
Yes, when women are happy, they want to actually...
And many women allow men to bring them down. Because
yeah.
I think, you see, that's why you have to take ownership. We refuse to take responsibility. You said something about complimenting you are looking nice, and he didn't say anything. That's why, you see, this self-esteem.
Just do it
Be
for
good
yourself.
look good for yourself first. And his own is an add-on. So if he says it's good, if he doesn't, nothing.
I walked in here. What did you say?
You look amazing.
You look amazing.
Yeah.
And guess what? I said, in my mind, let me tell you, I didn't
Yeah,
tell
I already
you.
know.
No. That's what she said.
Yeah.
But I said, oh my God, with my size, oh, fantastic. That was what I said. So you see, you have boosted myself.
In my own case, I don't wait for him to say anything anymore, because I got tired of it. It was becoming an issue, because I would wait for months. Then one day I'd be like,
can't you see?
For about 6 months now, you haven't told me.
Oh my God.
You even wait for 6 months.
So when I realized that, okay, like I can't control these things. Yeah. It's not that he doesn't care or anything, but
that's him.
You know, he has so many things to do and all of this. So what I started doing
I'm
was,
your first object of the job.
when I dress up, I'll come and stand in front of him and say, how do I look?
I was about to say that.
So that that will force him to engage with me and be like, okay, she has changed her hair. Okay, I haven't seen this top before. No, this is the third time I'm wearing it. This shoe is nice. Yes, I've had it for 7 years. Things like, so, you know, I force him to engage. I'm like, how do I look?
And that's high self-esteem. Yes. Because you see, when you know that you want a compliment, why don't you ask for it?
Yes.
Guy, can't you see me? It's as simple as that.
No, but you see, I had a friend who was like my size, and I used to tell her that you have to spend extra time to take care of your hygiene.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's very, very important. And she told me something that her husband was running her down, that her armpit and this. I said, look, let me tell you, when you're plus size,
that's her armpit,
you know, and all that. I said, when you're plus size,
you have to take extra care,
my darling. You have to be extra careful. No hair. You have to wash that place longer than other places and all that. I said,
which place?
How about now, Liz?
Look, when you're a plus size, you know the places. You know,
you don't have to be a plus size
and all that, all those things. Because if you don't wash those places extra, you might have some.
You know, sweat.
You know, the sweat now makes it sticky. So you'll be very, very not romantic when your husband wants to get there, and what is you get it. So the thing that I told her, you have to use a lot of deodorant. You have to use the PEF. You have to your teeth and all that, because many married women go to bed after cooking, going to work, and just going to bed.
It's a lie. They will not bath.
Auntie, let's wait. Let's be realistic. You cannot bath every night.
It happens.
There are times you get tired. Not every day. Sometimes you are tired. You sleep off them. Let's be realistic.
I have to admit.
But you see, it's the truth.
I have to admit.
When you have kids, you are, believe me, sometimes you even fall asleep cooking. You fall asleep doing something. Auntie.
And that's why I noticed, like, she told me something. She said, that's why we're staying in different rooms. And I said, well, I don't know about that. But, my dear, there's too much stress. You will not even know when you sleep off.
You sleep off sometimes. See, let's be realistic. That's life. You are exhausted.
The man, does he have a bath?
Thank you.
No, you will not sleep in the bed. You go to the doghouse. No. He has to have...
Anyway,
but this was from a time when I didn't have the support system I needed in the house, and then water was not as it should be. And now that I have support system. I have people helping me and things like that. Even sometimes 11 p.m. I've already started doing.
And see, sometimes I just don't want to bath. I know one bath and all that. Sometimes I know one bath.
Sometimes I just don't want to bath.
I just don't want to take a bath.
I took my bath in the morning. I didn't go anywhere.
Thank you.
Yes. So what's the point?
Listen,
and I take care of my nether parts after I use the bathroom. So what's the problem?
If you cannot take a bath,
you clean. That's different.
There are vital areas.
Yes, of course, that's different.
Yes, but to save you, the problem is whenever you come in from work or from outdoor,
you go and wash.
Go and take a bath.
Auntie, sometimes I just don't want to bath.
Okay, you just don't
I just don't feel like bathing.
That's rebellious.
Yes.
No, that's two of us.
Rebellious. Sometimes I don't want to bath.
But you see, but because I am, you see, like I always tell
people. But it's
people,
not like the whole day.
I mean, like she's talking about more than yes. Now, why now? Why?
My darling, you know.
Let's save water.
You see, when I was growing up, when I was growing up outside the north. You know, because the northern people, they always use, the other side, water. They always use tissue. But because I grew up here, I knew that water was important. So I tend to use water. And I remember a friend of mine said, yak. You know? And this is what I'm saying about self-esteem. She's telling me yak, that I'm using water. And I tried to tell her that, look, if you use water, you go wash everything.
It's better.
But you see, this is a thing. And that's why I say, like she says, do what makes you happy.
All right, so let's see. A lot of people are writing. I don't know if I can read. I have more than 200 messages.
Wow.
Say, I'm beautiful. One thing about life is that life offers you things that will make you feel incompetent, but in all your decision and confusion matters. Okay, I'm okay with myself. That's good. Okay, she said her name is Beauty, and I love your name too. All right, I'm blessed by this program. My self-esteem was killed after I lost my dad. And my uncle and my auntie I grew up with killed my self-esteem. Never let anybody tell you anything less. Because they never saw anything good in me. You are the best thing that happened to the world. The words that came from their mouth was all killers.
Thank God underestimate how powerful words are.
Honestly, that's true. Another person says self-esteem is a matter of mindset and lack of self-discovery of one's personality and worth. I totally agree with you. And I had low self-esteem during my secondary school days, especially from JS 1 to 2. The reason was that fellow students laughed at me for wearing borrowed school sneakers that had patched on at the bottom. In JS2, I told one of them that I take first in class. Yes, I did. And when he came laughing again, I told him I'm better academically. This ended the mind attack. Beautiful. Okay. Now I continuously have a high self-esteem and make sure everyone around me does. And he says he's a doctor, Dr. Vincent. Wow, that's good. Thank you for sharing that. Good morning. I'm Joy by name. I have self-esteem and I'm very proud of myself. Whenever I bake cakes, my boss will always say I did well, and I always feel like a star. That's good. That's a good boss too for encouraging you. Let me just take the much I can before the ladies will chop my head. My name is Gadzama. I so much love my wife and my children. You're a darling, and we love you too, Gadzama, for loving your wife and children, because you're going to enjoy it much more later. I am bright. I have self-esteem. I always encourage myself when I am down and do that to others to be to be specific, my friends. All right, thank you very much. The rest of the messages, I think I'll have to reply them directly after the program. But I have to also share something. You know, I tell people, when you're a lone star, you're no star. That's the plain truth. And I take it all around my, lifestyle. If I don't want to go out and be the only person who is well dressed, you know. It's not good enough. So if somebody mentioned it here that
go out with friends.
Yes, even children. There are people they will dress up, and their children are tacky.
No, that's awful.
No, people do it. I know people that have done it.
Even when you're going to a place and you know the people are poverty stricken, you don't even overdress. It's just that's how it is. You know you're going to meet people who are maybe have very little, and then you wear gold. You wear that.
Let me surprise you. I once asked, because I worked in the development sector. I noticed that they tend to step it down seriously with their dressing when they come.
Yes.
And there was a community we visited, and the women were calling me aside and asking me, why are these women so shabbily dressed? We know they have money. Why do they dress like this? And they felt patronized.
Yes.
Not shabbily.
Not,
I mean, I don't think shabbily, but you don't overdress.
I'm using the language they were using. Because they're like, these people,
not too much,
we know they
but
have.
step it down.
But there are sometimes you want to go, you want to downstep it.
Yeah.
And by the time you go there, you're looking very silly.
Yes.
Really?
And those people were telling me, we know these people have. Why do they dress like this when they're coming to see us? They felt patronized.
Just to look good. You
just look decent.
For you to actually be happy and be safe as well, it's important to carry other people as you go.
Yeah.
So if you're confident and people around you are not confident,
it's a problem.
It's eventually going to
affect you.
So as much as we can, everybody at home who is watching, if your self-esteem is good, a lot of people that wrote here said they have good self-esteem, try to encourage people around you. I mean, if you're a father and you're the only one who is the bringer in the house, one day you will fall. One person does not carry a community. It's a joint effort. So I'll just leave my sisters to say their last word before we go. Our time is up, and these ones I'll take later. Final answer.
You have to build your self-esteem up yourself. Don't be bothered by the wind and the breeze around you.
What is the story you'll tell yourself? When you look at the mirror, who do you see? Tell yourself good things.
Hang around people with positive energy and not hang around people who bring you down, and love yourself.
All right, so I'll just end off with the song of Nas. I always love that song. I don't know if you know how to say. I know I can be what I want to be. If I work hard at it, I'll be where I want to be. So whatever it is you want, you desire it. Once it's not illegit, once it's not criminal, once it's not morally bad, you can achieve it. You're the best thing that happened to the world. Raise your head high and tell yourself you're the best thing that happened to the world. Until next week, I remain Elizabeth and my lovely sisters at home. Bye.